Kingdom Hearts Remind is the newest and suspected last DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. It was released on February 23rd, 2020, almost exactly 1 year and 2 days after launch of Kingdom Hearts 3. Square Enix and Nomura put their best foot forward as the DLC fleshes out Kingdom Hearts 3 into a complete experience. At a staggering $30 price tag, it is hard to justify buying half the original game for an extra 15 to 20 hours of content, but in the end, I found it made me fall in love with the franchise all over again. As a Kingdom Hearts fan, I think this is a DLC you can't skip due to its compelling fights and payoffs for so many of the characters. Now, spoilers beware, I am diving into everything inside the Remind DLC to dig through the nuance of its successes and failures. A majority of the DLC is cutscenes showing how and why Sora disappeared at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. When he tries to save Kairi, one of the main attractions to me was the ability to play as other characters in this DLC. It is a ton of fun to play as Aqua, Riku, Roxas, Kairi, Axel, Terra, and Ventus when you have to replay the final showdown between the 7 Lights and 13 Darkness. You might say, excuse me, what? Wasn't that the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, yes. But this time, the fights are better fleshed out. You don't just watch the characters you want to play as, fight in the background. No. You finally get to play as them, for the most part. Playing as other characters is one of the reasons Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep stood out to me. Playing as 3 different Keyblade Masters gave me 3 different experiences that pushed my playstyles into new territories instead of pressing X as fast as I can to win every fight like I did for a majority of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Consequently, it makes me feel weird about this DLC because this feels like the proper ending to Kingdom Hearts 3. It feels like the game is actually finished both thematically and gameplay-wise in the DLC instead of the full product. That is, again, until the secret end happens. I'll get into that in a moment. But overall, I didn't feel that normal frustration I normally do when games make me play reused assets for its newest iteration. I believe retreading old areas worked in Remind because we hardly get to explore the new areas, like the final world, where we battle Xehanort in the original game. The beauty of Scala ad Caelum overtook me with envy for the beautiful heavenly world shown off in this DLC. It gives off heavenly vibes that serve in eerie contrast to the graveyard of Keyblade Masters from the mobile game hidden below the surface. Sora receives the chance to save Kairi by assembling her fragmented heart. Each fragment is scattered throughout Scala ad Caelum and eventually through our friends' hearts. Yeah, if you think the old joke of Kingdom Hearts only saying something darkness, something light, something hearts doesn't apply in this DLC, you are sorely mistaken. This is 100% Kingdom Hearts light and darkness overload until the end. Once we are past the Keyblade graveyard fights and Scala ad Caelum, we are treated to an awesome team showdown. Xehanort's 13 Vessels of Darkness versus the 7 Guardians of Light is the best kind of fan service. We get to have everyone shine in their final fight. The fight seems like a payoff for fans that works so darn well for those that have played every game of the franchise. I can imagine this DLC falls flat for you if you don't care about the journey of Kingdom Hearts. Again, why I think it hit me so well was because I spent thousands of hours with these characters across 13 plus releases across the past 15 years. I love how everyone is finally doing superhero-like attacks to conclude the series. I remember as a kid playing the bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and wondering, why can't I do these super cool moves? Especially when I saw the secret boss fight where Terra's lingering spirit dishes out crazy attacks with his Keyblade. We used that. In this DLC, you get to live out those fantasies, even though your Sora file is probably more powerful than everybody you play as. Once you finish the team showdown, Mickey has a really cool moment that is utterly wasted on him. Mickey Mouse in the Kingdom Hearts series has never sat well with me after Kingdom Hearts 1. Mickey's walking sequence is so good, I felt cheated that it wasn't used for a more dramatic moment. I mean, think of Roxas or Xion, who have been used and abused by Xehanort all along. Imagine the struggle as they push through to save the day in some different plot narrative-driven moment like this. But I realize it doesn't align with Sora's needing to complete a fight with every character, so it was thrown in for the mouse, got his moment. It's just The mouse. It's too good for the mouse. Ugh. Moving on to the last significant fight before the data battles start, we have the fan service fight of the franchise. And that's saying something compared to the awesome 7 Lights versus 13 Darknesses. The final bad guy of all bad guys, that being Xehanort, finally faces off against Sora and Kairi. Oh man, it was awesome to play as Kairi. Her angel wing attack with Sora is utterly stunning as each feather holds their memories together throughout the series. The music is jamming during the fight, which caused me to have one of those special moments in gaming. What I mean is, everyone has some moment in gaming which really speaks to them, replays in their mind, plays with their imagination, and causes this childlike smile. Well, it hit me after waiting 15 years to see the 2 big characters fighting together, unleashing ultimate attacks upon the evil bad guy. I was grinning like an idiot. Seeing Kairi get the chance to shine, I loved it. That fight was such a perfect end. I'm so happy right now. If you haven't picked up Kingdom Hearts 3 since you beat it, like me, then you will notice Remind has a lot of really great, excellent fixes and additions, but they actually came in patches too, not just with this DLC. The addition of more Keyblades and forms, cutscenes have been altered and fixed, and little bugs polished to make it run even smoother, have made the experience way better for me from what I remember playing last time I picked up this game. Sadly, the awkward pausing in the dialogue is still present in the game. I'll never understand that decision to pace the dialogue so strangely.
If you do summon Kingdom Hearts, we will defeat you, and we will close it again.
Perhaps, that is, if you survive that long.
Now, we get to what everybody wanted to play, data battles. If you have never heard of data battles, they first came from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. It was the first time players could play against the whole Organization 13 on the normal console engine. The boss's difficulty was cranked up to 11, and people fell in love by showcasing all the different ways they could beat these insane boss fights in such dramatic fashion. Basically, data battles are boss rush mode with boss fights made harder, where you have your favorite combat system possible at your disposal to make for the best experience ever. Kingdom Hearts 3 brings that joy to life again. This was my first exposure to actually playing the data battles, so I was unsure if seasoned Kingdom Hearts players felt like this was retreading the same territory they already played in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, or if they were satisfied with the new fights. A quick Google search showed me a very positive reception, which makes me thrilled. Some people shocked me even, claiming that these data battles were harder than the originals, which makes me feel great about beating them all, though I know some were much easier. Inside Kingdom Hearts 3's data battles, the music, the bosses, the grind were an absolute blast of highs and lows. Nothing is more satisfying than finally beating the bosses after getting smacked game after game. Yeah! Yeah! Oh, yes! Oh, yeah! I fucking love data battles and I hate data battles! Yeah! Learning the tricks of each fight is rewarding. Eventually they become like dances that captivate the eye, for the fight is displaying itself to watch. To say I enjoyed the 3-day-long process of fighting each boss is an understatement. Every day I had something to look forward to trying. It felt like learning a puzzle each day. Some were easier than others, but I adored the fact that I could take time to get better at the fights. I didn't experience the dread of learning how to defeat a Dark Souls-like major boss, but most fights didn't let me off the hook with a win for just trying my best either. Overall, it was a great experience. Once completed, we get more storyline information that leads to the biggest shock of the DLC for me. Somehow, in some way, Kingdom Hearts found a way to become even more convoluted. I know! It doesn't sound possible, but buckle up. The secret episode in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind has you fight a boss that appeared in the original game as a fake knockoff Final Fantasy character inside the Toy Story world. Whatever. Well, guess what? He shows up again. His name is Sora, which means night sky. Well, why does that matter? It really doesn't, but Sora means sky, so, oh man. Oh no, it's starting the rabbit hole of questions. If you get squashed by Sora, as I did, you get the bad ending where Sora explains that he will save Sora. It gives a nice conclusion to the series. Sora's lost, but this new character will save him, send him back to his friends looking for him throughout the entire galaxy, and that's the happy end we all wanted. Everyone gets to live happily ever after. The only problem is we have some strange mystery box being talked about in Kingdom Hearts 3. A mobile game that set up all these Keyblade Masters that are suddenly back. The Master is a Masters character who is showing up in all these different places, worlds, and times. A wild card that was given to Sora to use for something we haven't seen paid off yet. Oh, and the confirmation that more Kingdom Hearts 3 games are being made. So what happens if you beat this overpowered pain-in-the-butt secret boss? Well, Sora chills in that final world or heavens world similar to that talking teddy bear we saw earlier, while Sora says, oh man, he's not needed yet, super edgy. And Sora gets sent back to where he came, which is waking up inside a car, and the driver asks him,
impressive, is it not?
Okay, who cares? Wrong. What I didn't know, as you might not know, is the writer for Kingdom Hearts, Nomura, was supposed to publish a Final Fantasy game for Square Enix called Final Fantasy 13 Versus, but it was scrapped at the last minute. Thanks, Square Enix. He lost 90% of his stories and character. All that work went to waste, or so everybody thought. Nomura took the trailer from 13 Versus, painted it with some nice Kingdom Hearts textures, and son of a bitch, he took his Final Fantasy game and put it into the Kingdom Hearts universe. That driver, it is now the voice actor for Luxord, the dude who gave Sora the wild card. Oh no, when the organization members die, do they wake up in the canceled Final Fantasy world, which has now become the canon Kingdom Hearts universe? Oh man, what about Zigbar actually being super old from the mobile game or the original Masters? Does this mean that Kingdom Hearts is departing from Disney to make their own thing? Is Sora the new protagonist of the next Kingdom Hearts game? How will this impact Sora coming back? Is all Final Fantasy canon inside the Kingdom Hearts universe? What's in the box? A floodgate of speculation has splashed down upon the Kingdom Hearts community, and it's overwhelming. I was told there are 2 to 3 more related titles possibly in development for the Kingdom Hearts series. I find this to be mind-boggling that we have a whole new set of games ahead of us when it was supposed to be ending, all thanks to Nomura wanting to make a Final Fantasy game, but getting snubbed years ago. Overall, Remind was a wonderful $30 spent for me. I got to step back into one of my favorite video game franchises, experience some new things, and experience the satisfaction of a story ending and then beginning again. Some of the drawbacks of the DLC are the fact that you don't play as other characters for very long. Remind retreads a lot of the territory from the ending of the first game, which can be annoying. When exploring Scala ad Caelum, you will find it is as empty as a Fallout series game. If the beauty in the location does distract you, then this new world is going to be a huge letdown. Data fights are not a new idea, and now there is a lot of Final Fantasy in your Kingdom Hearts. All notable drawbacks, depending on the type of Kingdom Hearts fan you are. I don't see this as a divisive DLC, but one of intrigue. It adds fixes and further complicates everything we know about the franchise. I look forward to seeing more from this series in the years to come. I applaud the developers for making me feel like there was so much to this DLC despite them reusing a lot of the previous assets. It felt new, and that's what matters. I received the chance to jump back into one of my favorite franchises of all time for a week away from the world. The sound design is spot on, and aside from one strange glitch with Xehanort, it played without issue for me. The new picture mode they added to Kingdom Hearts 3 is my last notable mention. It is creatively rich. It has already served as an excellent tool for the Kingdom Hearts community to create memes or cool pictures to keep the life of the series alive. It is a great addition.
Thanks for watching. New video game reviews come out on the last day of every month. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any. You can see all of our projected reviews inside the official RadAwesome27 Discord server linked in the description. If you enjoy these videos, consider supporting on Patreon. Without them, these videos would not be possible. A big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you to both my editors for helping me make this review possible. Be sure to check out both Chroma and BT. And until next time, be safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, yes! Yes! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Video games are so fun! Yeah, baby! In business, we are... Whoa! What?
I don't know what to do.
What? What? Yeah!
I was so focused on trying to get to the double Keyblade form and then pop
baby!
like a heel right off. Damn!
Yeah! Woo!
Come on!
Come on! Yeah! Yes! Yeah! Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Analysis complete! Yeah!
I like video games. I really do. You know, sometimes they're fun and rewarding, and sometimes they're brutal.